So you're working on this collaboration EP with JRod, and I heard you met him through your tattoo artist, but why did you guys connect so well, and why did it make sense to do an EP together?
Yeah, I got connected to JRod originally through my tattoo artist. They lived together for a bit, and he had been saying like, one day you gotta work with JRod because JRod's a, well established like engineer. Like he was like K Camp's go-to engineer for a bit, and like where has recorded a lot of artists that come in and out of the studios that he's worked at. So he's just like solid in his craft. And so I finally got to start working with him at the beginning of last year, for like February 2024. And like the first day, like was like three, we did like, I think we did like three songs. And it was just like, oh, all right. Like it was just like a natural like meshing and, collaboration and just like conversations that take place while making the record and be like, oh, like, well, what are you saying here? Like, what's the topic you're writing about? Okay, like we can go this direction with the hook, or just kind of playing off each other naturally. It just feels great. So we had put out like Mind Games, and he had made a few like beats for me that I got on, and then from there it's just like, wow, we should just probably drop a project with as much music that we make together. So it was an idea that naturally kind of took place.
That's cool. Yeah, there's nothing like just that instant connection where you like get each other.
Right.
Cadillac Problems. I know there's a song, but then the entire EP, why did it make sense to just name the whole project that?
So Cadillac Problems is a phrase that I heard a bunch of times from a few guys that I go to like 12-step meetings with. And, it's a lot of people in those environments that have some pretty dark pasts and a lot of problems that they overcome. So the way he used it, he's like, I got Cadillac problems. Like the problems I have today are like a much better set of problems than I used to have.
Mhm.
And that always kind of stuck with me. And I brought it up one day when we were talking about having a title and I was explaining it to him because we got tracks on there that are, where you can tell like there's real life things that we're trying to, work through and figure out. But it's like trying to figure out these things, figure out relationships, figure out, you know, how to go wherever we want to go, how to develop a better relationship with time and life is like much better problems than being arrested almost a handful of times and almost dying and you know things like that. So it's just like there's a gratitude in it, knowing that like life is never like rid of problems or challenges or difficulties, but I'm blessed to have the problems I have today, I guess is the meaning of Cadillac Problems.
Yeah, yeah, helps count the blessings and keep perspective for sure.
Yeah.
And is that you playing piano on this? I think there's a few songs where there's piano, but is that you throughout on the piano?
No, that I haven't gotten
No.
that far yet in my piano
Okay,
playing
okay.
for me to be able to claim that one day maybe, but nah, it's not me.
Oh, the piano always adds like that soulful edge to it. So, okay. Yeah, one day. Is that a goal?
Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely kind of like trying to build like a regimen of just like playing a lot and then trying to want to start learning more of like I understand how to like play a good amount of songs now, but then it's like the theory of like, okay, why am I playing what I'm playing? Like what goes into it, the like the theory behind it, I guess. So I don't know anything about that. I'm trying to start learning that.
Yeah, yeah, like composition's a whole other
Yeah,
beast
right.
for sure. Overall, it does have a more R&B vibe rather than pure rap, and you've mentioned a lot that you're more than a rapper, you're an artist, but what was that direction to do more of an R&B vibey project?
Yeah, I think that's one benefit of like working with JRod. He's also like a R&B artist, like that's his realm, So it's invited me more into taking risks in that type of environment, that type of vibe. And kind of like just the way that my life has headed. I've had experiences to where it's kind of forced me to, open my heart up and I have like experiences of love and R&B type of topics to talk about now because I've kind of lived through things. So it's a natural process of yeah, I've gotten to that point in my life where I'm able to talk about these things and I have somebody that I'm with that kind of challenges me to kind of go in that direction. So it's made some songs I really like and songs that I feel like are authentic of me, but also kind of keep that uh style of where I'm not just that either. I'm kind of just, whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm experiencing is going to come out. It may sound different. It may can have a different label, but it's all still me at the end of the day.
A track that stood out to me was Time Will Tell. One of the lines was how I'm just 32, feel like I've lived 64. And then you explain that throughout the song, but what has just that feeling been like at this point of your life?
Yeah, no, it's just very accurate representation of where I'm at, I feel like everything that I've lived through like early life and, you know, the emotional traumas that I've experienced like early life and, going and playing football and having a whole, playing and going into the league and almost playing a decade in the league and also having like all the stuff with like, drugs and alcohol and like I said, going and getting arrested, going to rehabs, trying to get my life back on track. Yeah, a lot of few near death experiences. It's just like all these things, like divorce, like it's all these things that have been like, a lot of people probably don't experience what I've experienced in 32 years, maybe in their whole lifetime. So, and now here I am retired and like beginning, like, okay, who am I really in this thing called life? Like a whole new beginning after I've lived what feels like a whole life is it's kind of weird sometimes to sit with. It can be exciting at times, it can be scary at times. So that's kind of what that line hints at.
Definitely. Is it ever like tiring too? Just like, okay, I've lived so much life. How much more do I have to live? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, not like in like a morbid way, but it's like
Yeah.
interesting. Like I feel like I'm at the beginning of my life, like yet again, like new, like
Yeah.
an entirely new chapter where everything that's been done up until this point, it's like it's been done, but it's almost like I don't want to say it's like it's never happened, but it's like it's not here anymore. It's not net the now. It's not the present. So figuring out what that is for me, what direction I'm heading in, what purpose unfolds into going forward in life is just like wow. Like I feel like I'm just at square one again on a lot of different aspects of life. But I don't know. It's cool to be a beginner as well.
You never know what this new chapter will hold.
Right.
So that's good. And what has the response to Top Play been? It seemed like you were really excited to release that, and it seems like it's gotten good feedback.
Yeah, no, it's gotten good. It's gotten great feedback. I'm not really on social media like that, but just from like people in the world, that's kind of how I kind of like judge it because I've been dropping music for like 10 years. There's people that are close to me and people that like really, really pay attention to what I have going on that'll like be fans of like my music and know what's going on. But it's not like ever really been like a huge quantity of people but now it's like I've gone to places and there's like old white people that are like, I heard you rap. Wow. Like, or there's like I went to Popeyes the other day and the dude opened the door and was like, gotta put that shit on Sports Center. Like we're singing the song to me. And I'm just like,
Uh,
interesting. Like it's just like
double
it's
take.
more and I guess maybe like the video with like John Gruden and like being on Barstool probably has something to do with that. But it's interesting. Like people have told me they'd be like, they've told me straight, they'd be like, I've heard your music before, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about it, but I heard that, and I was like, I'm paying attention, and it's like, oh, cool. Like I'll take that any day, So it's interesting to see like there's more people paying attention to music. I always just treat it as something that I just like doing on the side. It just makes me happy to do and I share it. But yeah, it's the feedback from that has been pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure that was fun to hear just on the street randomly, like,
Yeah,
oh, you actually paid attention. Yeah.
right. Yeah, exactly.
That's fun. I saw like that the production is kind of what got you inspired. Like even when I heard it, I was like, that bass, like I need to hear it in the car ASAP. Like,
God, yeah.
but what is it Pale or Pale or
Palais.
Pale? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, but what just the production?
yeah. I've never even met this dude. He's just like, but it's the beats speak for themselves. They impact me. Like I was sitting at the airport in like Seattle, and I pulled that beat up, and I was just like sitting at the gate, just trying to not like look like I'm just like
Get
going
so
crazy,
hyped.
like, but internally I'm just like looking insane probably. But yeah, no, he just has a lot of good like some songs I put out, like This Too Shall Pass. He made that beat. He made my the beat for my next song, Streets Get Cold, that's about to come out. So yeah, he whatever that young man is doing is working. Yeah, it's been an honor to be able to have you know, linked with him in that way. But yeah, it's just yeah, he's got and his beats kind of like are like a mirror for me because like they can be a certain vibe, like an R&B vibe, or like you'll hear when the streets get cold song. It's like yeah, it's a whole different type of vibe than top play, but it's the same producer, which is like kind of like how I am as an artist.
Mhm.
Like you could get a top play, and then you can get a streets get cold. It just makes sense. That's why I feel like I like what he does so much.
Yeah, multifaceted. I saw that he did Central C's title track, CRG. Did you listen to that?
Nah, I ain't heard that.
Oh, okay. No, you should look it up, Central C
Yeah,
CRG. And on the song you say it's the first thing you wrote since visiting Japan for your birthday. What was that trip like and how did that inspire you?
Japan trip was incredible. I'd never been anywhere outside of that North American Caribbean bubble before. So it was cool to get outside that and see a whole different world. Like in Japan, like the people over there are so like kind and like honor is so high in their like just how they live, just like their culture. And it's the people are so nice and caring and like it's just safe over there. And it's beautiful. Like Tokyo, the city is incredible. So easy to get around. So many cool things to see and be a part of. Great food. Went to Kyoto as well, which is like older, a lot of shrines, a lot of things like that. So it was an incredible trip. I loved it. And then it's funny like the first when my plane lands back in America, I pull up that beat for top play and it's just like okay, like here we are. Like I didn't write anything over there, didn't really work on anything over there I was over there like 11 days. And as soon as I touched back, like I'm not even home yet. And then I was like, I got a song written that's like one of the hardest ones I feel like I've ever made. So it was definitely a trip that I left feeling like, wow, like I want to see more of the world. I want to see what's more is out there because like, I've been in the same football bubble from age 4 to 32. It's nice to get out there and see things and be like, oh wow, like just explore for yourself. I don't feel like I've ever really gotten a chance to do that, and now I got it.
There's a whole world to see for
Yeah.
sure. I know you were part of the crowd control EP for Madden a few years ago, but what
Yep.
was that like being with other athlete artists?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That wasn't even supposed to happen. It was supposed to be like this career day thing through the NFL that they offer. Like if you're looking for careers after football, like maybe there's something in the music industry, and they opened the studios up at the end of the day, and dudes just we just started plugging up, playing beats,
Love
like,
that.
and then I played a beat of mine, and one of the songwriters that they had there, it's like a Grammy winning songwriter, was like, pull that up immediately, like, and went into the booth. I was like, what the fuck? Nobody had ever rapped on a beat that I made before. And
Okay.
then he did a hook on it, and then which Ray Ray ended up doing, and then like I put a verse on it, and from there, like I think the Interscope people were looking like, "What the fuck is happening?" Like, and they're like, "Oh, so maybe something can happen from this." Because I was supposed to leave that day, like 15 minutes after I played that beat, and I was like, let me just cancel my flight, just hang out." And then like a couple hours later, from doing that song, I made the Sweep song was made. And so then it just started to like take a life of its own after that first day. And they got some other guys that I don't think were able to make it to that day involved because they were kind of like, yo, we should reach out to people and see who makes music in the league. And they got more guys like Teron Armstead, Melvin Ingram, a lot of those guys, DJ Chark. Like, yeah, it ended up being a pretty fun thing, which I thought it would never happen. But now it's like I have music on Madden game. Like I played it since I was a kid. So things like that are really cool.
Would you ever tour with your music?
I would love to. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like I look at artists and, maybe it's like I don't know much about their world. Like maybe some people would love to play football, but there's things that
Mhm.
you don't take into account. But I would love to, like, to perform my music in front of people. I've performed at like, people that I know have hosted like little small like events that I've performed music at. I performed music at like some of my foundation events.
Mhm.
Um, so I enjoy and that's like there's never been more than like 20 people, you know what I'm saying? Like so and I've enjoyed that. So it's like I couldn't imagine what the connection is like for like 100 people or 200 people or 500 or 1,000 or like working up. So I would love to go on tour. I don't know if it's like opening up for somebody or whatever. I don't care. Like I think that'd be cool to just move around and do that. I'm sure it's exhausting. There's things that you need to learn, and it's its own craft. Like I always want to respect that and take that into account. But I would love to at some point. I've always said like I'd like to go on one tour. I'd be happy after that just to see what it's like and experience that connection with people that know your music. I feel like that's a special moment.
Yeah, there's something different about live music, about concerts. Like that was one thing I was sad about COVID was like, I need my concerts.
No doubt.
But even though you have retired from football, how is physical fitness still part of your important part of your routine? Or I know you're doing the high rocks. Does that even is that fun for you to have maybe not the pressure of football and to just like have fun with physical fitness?
Yeah, it's definitely lighter. I mean, the pressure to perform, especially in NFL, but really any level of football is extremely high. And you feel that no matter what anybody says, you feel it to a certain degree. Certain people are able to block it out a lot, which I feel like I could, but it's there and you feel it. So it's nice to be able to do this and push myself and challenge myself. But at the same time, it's like I don't have to go out here and try to impress or like perform at certain times. Like, no, all I gotta do, I'm just gonna go out here and do my best, which is what I try to do in everything that I do, and just challenge myself and have fun with it, and not because I've been a performer my whole life. I've subjected myself to how I'm doing with how well I'm performing, and it's like I'm at the same time breaking free from that. And so it's cool to just be able to go into this event and do it just because like I want to do it. I want to see what this challenge is like and not feel like, oh, I got to get this certain time or I failed or like it's nice to be free from those because I do love working out still. I've always loved working out and I feel it's good to feel strong and to feel fit. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. It could be my last high rocks if almost die out there. Like I may drop to like the doubles or the relays in that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And I love working out. Got a hard workout in this morning, so it's something that nobody has to motivate me to do.
Was looking at it, I was like, I don't know that I could
Yeah.
do that. That looks, are you doing it with anyone? Like, do you have a group of friends that you're training together, or is it just your thing?
So I trained with a guy that him and his business partner made my home gym, and
Oh,
he
cool.
competes in. He's going to like the world championship for the doubles for high rocks. So I train with him because he's got the
He
program
knows what
pretty
he's
dialed
doing.
in.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to just keep up with that guy because it requires a different level of fitness than football. Football is just
Mm,
like power, speed, and there's a lot of like you strain for 5 seconds and then you rest till the next play.
mm,
Whereas this is
mhm.
like just going nonstop. Heart rate is maxed for over an hour. And so it requires a different level of fitness. You gotta have a relationship with like distance running, which I've never had, and I'm
Mhm.
trying to build. So I'm thankful that I have help and guidance into it because there's no way I'd be going into it if I didn't have somebody that could help me be prepared to not die the day I do it.
Yeah, right. It seems like a different cardio, like a different thing. How has your faith kind of continued to get you through this new season of life, and how has it evolved too with just the different life experiences you've had?
Yeah, it's quite the journey with that. It's been a beautiful journey, It's I can look back now, like I've never been able, I've never been one of those people that can be like, I hear just a booming voice from God, like in moments telling me what to do. But I'm one of those people that's like, I can look back in hindsight and see, God's hands all over everything as to why things were happening. And, I could see the ways that he was, trying to communicate to me, like, I know you probably want to stay here and you get a lot of validation and ego hits from football, but I'm done here. Like, I'm trying to get you into something else, what I have next for you. And it's interesting to look back now. It's like there's so many different times where I could just feel it and just being like, man, like I can't keep doing this. I don't know how long how long I can do this. And who I call God, my higher power, is just trying to get me into position to where it's like I want to get rid of all the things to where you feel like you've had to perform to feel worthy or enough, and just get you into a place of life to where it's like you can figure out who you want to be and not just move by this path that you accepted as what should be yours when you were a kid, and that would make you happy and that would blah blah blah. It's like it's time for you to it's time for us to create your own path. And there's a lot of things that we need to shed in the process of that, certain like negative belief systems and, um, old patterns, generations of things that my family has passed down that nobody's really dealt with that I got to deal with. Things like that. It's quite an internal journey, but it's beautiful at the same time. I feel a lot more at peace today, and a lot less, definitely a lot less self-destructive. There's a lot of, patterns and behaviors that weren't as detrimental to my life as drugs and alcohol that I've continued to do. That this season of life since retiring has allowed me to just stare in the face and just deal with, and start to walk out the other side and just feel more at ease in myself. So, just excited for what's next, but also terrified a little bit. But that's life. That's what makes it beautiful.